Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We have a great show for you today, and as always, if you want to call in and ask some questions, you can call in right now at 323-870-3857, and we'll be here till about, it's 7 o'clock now. What, Beeb, 7:15, 7:20, somewhere in there? A lot of news.
Maybe 7:30.
7:30. All right, but today we got a stacked card here, man. I'm telling you, we got a stacked card here, babe. Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya going back and forth again. The lovers' quarrel continues. We'll give you all the details. And check this out. This is news I heard last night. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are appearing in the next UFC fight game. I guess UFC 4, I guess it's called, or something like that. I don't know. We'll have all the details for you. But first, we're going to get started with, the fights on ESPN, which I got to be honest, man. I don't know about you, B, but these leave a lot to be desired anymore. This is like watching the old ESPN Friday night fights.
Yeah.
They're terrible. They're just terrible. They're not good. They're not competitive. They're not good.
It's been a few decent ones, but
Carlos Takam is 39 years old, Beeb. 39.
Yeah.
And he's the showcase there. He is the showcase.
Yeah.
All right. Now I get, Big Baby Miller, I guess, he was supposed to be in there, but then, he got popped again for PEDs. Go figure that one out. But I tell you, it's disheartening. Carlos Takam versus Jerry Forrest on ESPN. Takam defeated Forrest by unanimous decision, 96-94, 98-92, and 97-93. I had this fight about 97-93. The fight was okay, but I gotta think, man, if Jerry Forrest would have picked it up a little, he may have been able to win that decision. Honestly, because Takam looked his age in there. He really did. He looked 39 in there. And I got to question how much he has left at this stage. But, for Forrest, I was more disappointed in his performance. Why he wasn't going to the body, why he wasn't trying to move and pressure, take some of the energy out of Takam. But I just think at the end of the day, he just wasn't good enough.
You know what I think?
Takam's really good. Go ahead.
Because Takam fought uncharacteristically in this fight.
Yes.
From the outside. He's usually a guy that goes inside, grinds it out, throws a lot of punches on the inside. He's more of a volume guy, but he didn't really display that type of style. He was a lot more methodical. He laid back a lot. And I think it maybe threw Jerry Forrest off because maybe he was expecting Takam to come to him.
Yeah.
And when it didn't happen, it took him a long time to make the adjustments. And when he made the adjustments later in the fight, and then he started going to Takam, and then he did start going to the body, and then he became the aggressor because he knew Takam really wasn't going to be the aggressor like he normally is. It just was weird how it took him quite a bit of time.
At least half the fight to figure that out. And why his corner wasn't on that? Why,
Yeah, it took him a while to figure that out,
I can understand why he didn't figure it out because, he's in there fighting. I get that, but that's why you got a corner.
Yeah.
Jesus, you guys couldn't figure that out, and you guys couldn't figure out you got a 39-year-old guy in front of you?
Yeah, you got to push the
pace.
Start
wearing him out, man.
You got to push the pace on a guy like Takam.
I don't get that, man. I really don't get that. Yeah, that was not good. That was not, and you could blame it on short notice or whatever you want, but you at least, you at least were in shape. You should have been at least in shape to, to fight that kind of fight. So really, you got no excuses, no? Wasn't good, man. But I think that, to me, Forrest just has a lot of limitations in his game. I think that's what it boils down to. He's 32. He's a decent enough boxer, but compared to Takam, he didn't have it. He didn't know he has limitations in his game. There's things he's not able to do. He's not able to force that pace. He's not able to get, And Takam's a good boxer. but he's 39.
Hmm.
Should have been able to go in there and do something with him, and he did nothing with him.
Well, when you're on the short end of the skill department against your opponent,
Yeah.
that means you got to work that much harder to make up for that skill gap with, more pressure, more aggression. You got to make it a tough fight. You got to actually really try to push the pace, smother the guy, take the guy's skill set and nullify the guy's skill set and take it away from him.
Yeah.
And he was throwing a nice looping left hand, that he was having some success with. He was going to the body. He was doubling up punches to the body on either side later in the fight. But I just think, he was stubborn early on. He just didn't really figure Takam out, or he just thought Takam was going to come at him eventually, and he waited too long for that to happen, because it just never happened throughout the course of the fight, because Takam was very comfortable picking and choosing his shots from the outside. And it was surprising to me that the older guy looked like he was sharper, had faster hands. He was more accurate with the punches. And, you would think the younger guy would be able to pick up on the older guy's rhythm and his speed and stuff. But Takam was beating him to the punch early on too. So that was very surprising.
It was a slower paced fight. I mean, and that completely favors Takam, and that's why, for the life of me, I didn't understand why he didn't increase that pace, why he didn't go to the body, why. But again, he just doesn't have the skills to do it.
He allowed Takam to get off first.
Yeah,
and you can't do that. You can't let the older guy dictate the pace of the fight. You have to dictate the pace of the fight.
Right. And Takam's listen, man. I mean, this is nothing to take away from Takam. Takam's a really good fighter.
Good fight.
I mean, he's a really solid guy.
Even in his losses, he performed well.
Yeah, he's a very good fighter. No question about it. He's one of the, he's like, if you've got a guy coming up, that's the guy you want him to fight when he gets ready.
Yeah.
Because he's like a good gatekeeper type of guy. He's solid, man.
I thought he was winning the Chisora fight. I thought he was in the Povetkin fight. You could argue that he was winning that fight as well. I thought he wasn't really winning rounds against Joshua, but he was making Joshua work very hard in those rounds to win them. It wasn't like Joshua was having his way the whole round. He had to work to get those rounds.
Was not an easy fight. Yeah, he's never an easy out, put it that way.
Yeah. He makes you work.
But we watch this and you're like, man, I mean, this guy really, Jerry, he's gonna go back. Forrest is gonna go back and watch this fight and just be heartbroken.
Yeah.
Watching it. Because you could have won this fight.
This would have been a good victory for him.
It would have been huge. It would have been huge, and I would have put him right back in the picture. He beats a guy like Takam, he's right in the picture.
Yeah.
You never know what could happen because he doesn't have a big name, but he just beat a big name.
Takam's ranked in a couple of the sanctioner bodies right now. He's
a good fighter, man.
He's in position,
solid fighter.
He's in position for a title shot or an eliminator or something.
Something. Something. And then Forrest could have had that, and he didn't. And I would, like I said, man, I'm watching this fight, and I'm like, and I like Takam, I really do, but it was just like, come on, man, pick it up. Like you could win this fight. You could win this fight. But the judges are I had it 97-93. I had it like 7 rounds of 3 somewhere in there. I mean, I didn't think it was that close, I really didn't. I mean,
I only think one judge had it just like 6-4.
Yeah.
Only one judge had it close.
The guys on ESPN, they had it a little bit closer, I think. But
Andre Ward had it 6-4 as well.
Yeah, maybe so. So that's not really that bad. It's 1 round. So
1 round, yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. I tell you what, man, I cannot listen to Tim Bradley. He sucks. I mean, he just sucks.
I like when Andre Ward keeps throwing digs at him and stuff.
And he called him fat.
Yeah, he called him fat.
Oh my God.
That was hilarious.
That was. I mean, he's terrible to listen to, though. I wish that I wish it was just Ward and Tessitore or something like that. Bradley adds nothing. I mean, he really brings nothing to it. You could really see that Tessitore and Ward really have a good rapport together. They work very well together. They're a solid unit. Ward works well with everybody.
Yeah, Ward's
You
really.
can put him in there with anybody. And
Ward's just a very likable person. I've always liked Ward.
Yeah, a lot of people hate Ward. I don't understand that.
I'm a huge Andre Ward fan as a fighter, as a comment, as anything. I just think he's a great. He comes off to me as a great person. Obviously, I don't know him personally, but he just seems like a really great person.
He really does, and a lot of people I know a lot of the press hates him because he doesn't do interviews or whatever, but he always seems like a genuine, nice person.
Well, the thing about Andre Ward is, you know how the press will always try to give you those gotcha questions. Like so-and-so said this about you. What do you think? And Andre Ward doesn't want to play these games. He wasn't about all that. He didn't want to make himself be like a sideshow. He didn't want to be known for clowning around and just being a big mouth. He just didn't want to be that guy. He didn't want to be that loudmouth. He just didn't want to be that person.
Whether it made him money or not. Because he could have made a lot of money playing the bad guy or playing, you know what I'm saying?
He just didn't want to act a fool. He didn't want to act a fool for the press. He didn't want to buy into these, social media beef type things. And even when Mayweather said, "Oh, I think Kovalev beat Ward," whatever. Ward didn't go back at him. He said he has a right to his own opinion. He didn't snap at him.
Right.
He's a classy guy.
And I had Ward on my top pound for pound guy, number one on my list for years.
You did.
And that was even with Floyd Mayweather when everybody had him at the top. I had Ward at the top.
Yeah.
Because Ward was younger, he was better, he was just all around to me, fighting better competition.
Him and Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury is my favorite fighter, but Ward's was my second. I loved Ward.
Yeah.
I love
Ward's awesome, man. He really is. I'd rather have him, like I said, they need to drop Tim Bradley and they need to get rid of Kriegel. I mean,
they should bring Roy. They should bring Roy Jones.
100%. They should bring
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones is awesome.
I like Roy Jones.
Yeah, Roy Jones is awesome, man.
I was watching a video with Roy Jones. He was getting he was working with a therapist, get some type of body massage,
touching his toes and everything like that.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but I heard. I saw the video. I didn't watch it, but what was that?
Well, he was just kind of getting almost I think the guy was like a chiropractor or something like that. But he was just saying all the injuries that he had. He tore a bicep. He tore a bicep in each of his arms. He had his knee scoped. Had his wrist broken. He had a ton of injuries. I didn't even realize how many injuries he's had throughout the course of his career.
A ton, man.
Boxing's just beats. It beats up your body, man.
Yeah, I mean, you think about all the training you have to do and everything like that. I mean, it's not.
It's real easy in boxing to damage your bicep tendon because you're constantly snapping. Constantly turning your shoulder, snapping. You're just grinding out you're grinding your tendon down. It's like the rope is just fraying ever so slightly every time you throw that punch. It's zink, and it just pump snaps,
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
How many boxers you hear of tearing their bicep tendon? Andre Berto tore it a couple times. Ward. I think Ward had some bicep issues, shoulder issues,
hand issues. You hear people with hand issues all the time.
Miguel Cotto had a shoulder issue as well. Bicep
Pacquiao had a shoulder issue.
Yeah, so that's that bicep tendon area, man. It's definitely a vulnerable area for a boxer. No doubt about that.
Yeah. So yeah, man, a lot of injuries. On Tuesday, I believe this is Tuesday, on ESPN, Jose Zepeda versus Kendo Castaneda. That was the main event, by the way, guys. That was the main event. Yeah. Jose Zepeda wins by unanimous decision over Kendo Castaneda by the scores of 97-93, 98-92 twice, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that one. Beeb, you want to add anything to it, you can, but
yeah, I mean, these are just
hot garbage is what it is.
You got to try to put one
something.
One competitive fight one competitive fight on the card. You can't have every fight on the card, just be a squash match.
I mean, at least, we have Jamel Herring coming up this week, and that's going to be another squash match. Give me something. Give me something here. This is terrible. Like I said, these are old ESPN, the stuff that we used to watch on Friday nights. That's what we're back to.
Yeah. Read Georgie's comment in the chat. He hasn't been paying attention. How many weeks and months have I been saying I think Teofimo Lopez is going to beat Lomachenko? How many times have I?
You said that from jump. Yeah, you said that from the very start.
As he goes, Beebs, I got Teo. now you got Teo. After I've been saying for months, I got Teo. Bet Eric.
I'll take Loma. Yeah, I'll take Loma.
Eric likes Loma.
Yeah, I like Loma in that fight.
Even though I got the title, you can fight. You can battle it out with Eric for a pie bet for the number 1 contender spot. You got to find an eliminator. You can't just get me. How many losses do you think you're going to be able to sustain and then automatically get a title shot?
Yeah. What about that?
I'm not making a voluntary defense against you. I want to fight ranked contenders from now on out.
And I got news for you, Georgia. You ain't a ranked contender, son.
You haven't been ranked since friggin' Obama was president. Eric holding my belts over there. I let Eric hold the belts for me.
That's it. It is. Beeb Industries. When we're at Beeb Industry Tower, we show off his belts.
That's it.
That's what we do here. The ducking is insane.
I've been saying that I liked Teofimo in this fight for months.
Yeah. You've been saying it since it started. And I've been going back and forth, but I do like Loma in this fight. If they do fight, I like Lomachenko. So, yeah. It's a tight fight, though. It's a really good fight. Kidnapping the strap. So, all right. So, let me ask you this, Beeb. Let's marinate on this for a minute here.
Sure.
Jose Zepeda versus Kendo Castaneda was the main event on ESPN.
Yeah.
The main event last night for UFC 251, Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. That's a monster fight.
It's a good fight.
Why don't you tell me what's going on at Top Rank and what's going on at the UFC? And you guys tell me that the boxing has it over UFC when it comes to promotion. Are you crazy?
Well,
are you crazy?
Let me ask you this. Should they have done Top Rank? Should Top Rank have just waited it out until they could produce better fights? Sort of like what PBC's doing, sort of like what Eddie Hearn's doing. Should they have just waited it out and not jumped right back into it so soon with these fights? Because, what it seems like what they're doing is they're just putting these fights on and they're just saying to everybody, well, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, right. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing.
And that's the attitude that they're having. Like, just be happy that boxing's back, whatever. Yep. And it's almost like they're saying to us, insulting our intelligence, like we don't we're giving you these fights on ESPN. Basically, everyone has ESPN. They're essentially free fights on free TV.
Right.
You should be happy with them, right?
Right.
But I just don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough. I don't think this is going to, everyone has ESPN, okay? Everyone has Fox. And what you want is people flipping through the channels. You want people watching another sport on ESPN and then hearing that boxing's coming up, and you want them to transition into watching the boxing after watching a previous sporting event from another sport. You want guys who are flipping through channels. Oh, boxing's on. Let me see what's going on here.
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity because you have this ESPN deal to bring some casual fans, to bring some some eyeballs to the sport. And I don't think with these type of fights that anyone's going to sit there and say, damn, I can't wait to watch boxing tonight.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a problem. When you had that Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight, a lot of people were interested in that believe it or not, a lot of casual fans were looking forward to that fight, and they watched that fight, and there was a lot of conversation after that fight, especially with all the media outlets were talking about all of Deontay Wilder's excuses or whatever, and casual fans were actually talking about it too. So it brought up a lot of dialogue and a lot of interest to the sport. These type of fights, I understand that you can't put the creme de la creme out there, but you gotta do better than this, I think. I mean, I just don't think this is going to be enough, and I don't think that they could continue to do this for a long time and not see negative effects from it in terms of ratings and viewership. So
yeah, I think the ratings were at 277.
They're dropping.
277,000.
They're continuing. The first week was okay because it was boxing's back. Let's watch boxing. But then after show by show, the ratings just dissipated. They just went down.
And that's the thing. I mean, you can't continue to think that this product is going to hold. It's not.
Yeah.
With UFC putting on Usman and Masvidal, which are two huge stars over there.
Yeah.
I mean,
and everyone's like, you have people say, "Oh, well, you can't compare boxing to UFC," but you can. You can in this instance because they're two combat sports. We're both in the same situation with the pandemic, okay? And one entity is putting on very good fights, and the other entity, which is the boxing entity, is not.
Not at all.
What is the difference? As you said, what is the difference between these two situations? Now, Dana White has come out and said, I'm not cutting anyone's pay. Bob Arum has said that he is cutting people's pay. So
you tell me who's got the better. You tell me who's got the better. And everybody always complains about Dana White. He's underpaying his fighters, blah, blah, blah. But maybe he underpays his fighters. Times like this. Now what? Now it's paying off, right?
Well, Dana White doesn't want to, I guess he wants to pay fighters good, but he wants to pay fighters based on the fights that they're fighting.
Right.
It's not going to just give guys money just because just because they are who they are. He still wants good fights. And because there's no sanctioning bodies involved, you don't have these BS mandatories, these BS eliminators. So you got one guy calling the shots like that, who's a fan of the sport himself, who wants to watch good fights himself and takes a lot of pride in putting on the best shows possible for the fans. Then this is what you're going to have. Yeah. Now that's the issue. You have sanctioning bodies. You have boxers who are in a situation where they're not always forced to fight the best. In the UFC, if you don't fight the best, you don't fight. That's that simple. It's that simple. So that's why these fights get made.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the phones here. 530 Ringside. Robert on the phone here. Robert, go ahead.
Hello, Eric and Joe. Good evening. I hope you guys are doing well.
Bobby, how's it going over there?
One of the points I just brought up to Eric, Joe, is the reason why Top Rank is doing this is because ESPN is desperate for programming, so Top Rank is filling up time slots, and that's why we're getting the garbage that we're getting.
But they're filling up with nonsense fights, though. You know what I mean? They're filling up with nonsense fights. I don't care what they fill it up with, but Jesus, I mean, give us something in between the nonsense fights.
For God's sake, can we actually take Tim Bradley and hide him away somewhere? I can't stand that dude.
Sucks.
He was a wonderful fighter, but my God. Did you hear the exchange, Eric, on Thursday where Joe Tessitore said to Andre Ward, he said, "Hey, Andre, would you like Tim Bradley to be your trainer?" And Andre Ward basically said, "Heck no, with that idea. He doesn't know what he's talking about." Look, I enjoy watching fights, but I agree with you guys. It's time to step up the competition. And that brings up another point. From now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that they've moved the Lopez Lomachenko fight from the 19th of September to the 3rd of October. And the article I read said it was because of pay-per-view, because they want to do a pay-per-view for that fight. Now, that's a good fight, but is that worth the pay-per-view price?
Robbie, at this point, I would pay for it based upon what I'm getting right now. So,
just awesome stuff.
No, under normal circumstances, it wouldn't be a pay-per-view fight. But when I interviewed Bob Arum, in order to give these guys the payday that they deserve, it has to be pay-per-view because there's going to be no live audience. Now, if they were able to have a live gate, then they wouldn't have to put this fight on pay-per-view to give these guys what they need to get paid. So
now I know in December the Fury Wilder 3 fight is going to be pay-per-view. That was going to be pay-per-view whether crowds could be there or not. But I was shocked to see Lopez Lomachenko turn in from a TV fight to a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah.
I think Lopez is going to win that fight. I think Lomachenko is a good fighter, but I think Lopez is the real deal, and I agree with you on that one, Joe.
Robbie, I've been rubbing off on you over the years. You've been listening to my commentary, and you're finally seeing the light.
Hey, now I don't always agree. Sometimes I agree with Eric, but in this case,
I would say most of the
times
times he agrees with me. I think most of the time Robbie's a smart guy. I mean, most of the times he agrees with me.
Eric hasn't been right since Obama was president.
Yeah. No, that's the line you use for Georgie. So you got to come up with something else for Eric.
Don't start critiquing the material, Robbie, please. That's a line that could be used over and over again. It's like a 1-2 punch, brother.
Well, that's right. Well, with the way cases are going here in California, it's whacked. Although Florida got it real bad today. 15,000 new cases in Florida alone today, guys.
Yeah, that's what I heard, man. 15,000. You guys in California, you guys are tearing it up over there too. You guys got like 6,000 or 8,000 a day over there. Oh, what's going on over there?
And as of this morning, it was 319,000 cases in the state of California. I don't see an end to this anytime soon, guys.
No, not unless we shut down, and they ain't willing to shut down.
Yeah,
even when they shut down, but even when they shut down, it wasn't like a shutdown. You know what I mean? You're still going out and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't a shutdown like Italy shut down.
Robbie, you been going to the gym with the face mask on?
Hey, anywhere I go, I'm going to put a face mask on, Beeb.
So, that reminds me. You know what? Hang on, Robert. That reminds me. Okay, so they mandated masks in public places here in Cincinnati. Okay. Cincinnati, if you're in Cincinnati, you got to wear a mask in public places. All right. That's what they want you to do. You're not going to get arrested if you don't. You may be asked to leave. It just depends on what but the MMA gyms are open. Marinate on that one for a minute. Okay. The MMA gyms are open. I was like, well, how can that even possibly be? They said it's if you're wearing some of the exceptions of not wearing a mask if you're playing sports. Jiu-jitsu qualifies as a sport. You don't have to wear a mask. Are you crazy? You know how many infections are going to be passed around in those gyms? Come on.
When I was in Eric,
this is it.
Eric, my question is going to be is like when football is supposed to start in September. How do you social distance in a football game? It's not possible.
Well, what they're going to do is skip every other seat or something like that. That's what they'll do. But yeah, I'm with you.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about on the football field. If you're one of the players, how do you social distance during a football game?
Well, it's like this. I mean, think about this. All right, the Major League Baseball. All right, they're getting ready to I guess play their season or whatever. And they've got these guys in like a bubble, man. I mean, you can't go anywhere. And the same with soccer and everything else. All these athletes, all these high profile athletes, and the boxers and the MMA guys, same way. Dana White's got a whole Fight Island thing going on, quarantining those guys there. They're still getting it. They're still getting it, okay?
Yeah.
If they can get it, what do you think we can? You know what I'm saying? There's no way to stop unless you get a shutdown going. You ain't going to stop it. You're not going to contain it. You're just going to run the game, but everybody's going to, everybody's going to take turns passing it around.
And let's face it, not to turn this into political, but if you shut down the entire country all over again, and this time completely shut it down, you'll have the depression times 2, and it'll be a lot worse.
Oh no, you voting for Trump again?
I really don't know what the hell I'm going to do because I'm not happy with either one of these guys that are running. It's like 4 years ago, I voted for Trump because I didn't like the prospect of Hillary being in office.
Oh,
and
you
this
sexist.
Is another case where, this is another case where, hell, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
I'm going to vote for one guy because he's not the other guy. That's what I'm going to end up voting for.
I can't. I just can't vote for Biden, man. I'm sorry.
It's tough. It's tough to vote. It's tough to vote for either one of them, man.
I can't. I can't vote for Biden.
Well, that's my point. That's my point. What do? You vote for a 73-year-old Donald Trump, or you vote for 78-year-old Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
What do you do?
Two old white guys. That's what we got.
I feel bad for Joe Biden. He can't. He's not right now, man.
Give him a sympathy vote, man. What are you doing? Give him a sympathy vote.
Let's face it, guys. We may not find out on election night who wins because remember, everybody's going to do mail-in ballots. How long is it going to take them to count all the votes?
Who knows? Not everybody's going to do mail-in, but everybody's making a big deal about that mail-in ballot. They've always done mail-in ballots. It's not like it's a new thing. You know what I mean?
No,
it's not like it's new. They've done it forever.
Yeah, but see, the Republicans do want to suppress. They want to suppress the vote.
That's what it is.
That's one. I don't agree with that, man. Like everyone. What do you expect? All these elderly people to go to the polls, and there's a lot of people that just can't get to the polls. They have to do absentee balloting. They have to.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're trying to suppress everything.
Here in California, the governor said he's not even going to open the polls. Everybody's going to mail in their stuff.
Yeah,
your governor's pretty whacked over there, though.
That guy's a weirdo.
That guy's a whack job, son.
Yeah.
Well, they need to push Schwarzenegger back in there.
You know what? I don't politically agree with him, but I think in this case he's handled the virus as best as he possibly can.
How dare you? I don't know.
Anyway, guys, no, seriously, I agree with you. I told Eric last week, Joe, during the Tuesday or Thursday card, I forget which, I said, I only want to hear from Joe Tessitore, and I only want to hear from Andre Ward. Get rid of Bradley, get rid of Kriegel. We don't need 4 or 5 guys talking during a fight.
No, you don't. You need to get rid of Kriegel, too. He sucks also.
He's just
I mean, when Andre Ward speaks, it's like E.F. Hutton. You want to listen to what he has to say.
And he went deep on that one, but E.F. Hutton, I ain't heard that in years.
A little corny, Robbie, a little corny.
Oh, how dare you, Beeb. Stop it. What's the matter with you?
So, anyway, I hope the fights get better soon, guys. I really do.
All right, Robert. Well, we hope so too, man. And thanks for calling in, man. And you got a show to do at 8, man. So get going, man.
All right, I'll see you later, guys.
All right, man. We'll talk to you.
Gotta support you when I can.
All right, we appreciate it.
I love you, Robbie. I love you.
What is wrong with you?
I don't even get I love you too.
He wants to see other people. He wants to see other people.
I don't get I love you too back, man. What is that?
He didn't. He was just like,
who is that?
Beeb, what's going on? Yeah, who? Well, you said you loved him. I mean, hey, sometimes you get the response back, sometimes you don't.
Horrible, man.
I don't know, man. Oh no. That was rough, man. That was rough. That's like asking somebody to dance and she turns you down. You know what I mean? And then you got to make that long walk of shame.
That doesn't usually happen, though.
I don't know, man. Losing your touch, Beeb. I mean, he said
that doesn't usually happen.
It's like, I love you, and he didn't say it back to you. It's messed up.
It's okay.
It's okay. There's other fish in the sea.
I'll get over it.
516, you're live. You say you'll get over it?
Rican!
Yo, Beeb,
what up?
Beeb, you know I love you.
I love you too, Rican.
Is this Jesse Rican?
Did
Did you guys make up? Did you
see Rican always says I love you back.
Did you guys make up? You and Rican?
We've always been cool, man.
You've always been cool?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
You don't worry about that.
It's not. Yo, Eric, it's not a makeup, bro. What happens is we all know me and him are going to get back with each other again. Pause. But it's just a fight.
So you guys buying each other ice cream now and everything, or what are you guys doing?
I send him a care package every now and then.
You send him a care package?
So Rican, what's
sweet.
Have you been watching these ESPN cards? Has it been tough for you to watch these ESPN cards? How are you feeling about boxing?
Bro, I was going to say the UFC. Can I talk about the UFC fight?
100% talk about the UFC fights, because those were those were something that's something to really talk about.
Those were good fights last night.
That's something to talk about.
All right,
or you don't have to.
I should always listen to my friend. He told me to put. He told me to bet on the under for the Rivas fight. He was like, "That's such an easy fight to call."
What are you
and then
talking
I just only put 100, and I put 300 on Masvidal. And everybody's saying like, "Oh, Masvidal didn't do that great." And bro, he tried. He tried. Like
he had 6 days to cut 22 pounds, son. He didn't have his trainer in the corner. There's no way he was winning that fight last night. Who did you really put 300 on Masvidal?
Yeah. but if I
oh come on, man, you can't. You can't laugh. The dude lost money and you're laughing in his face. You can't laugh.
I'm laughing because look, I mean, the guy had to lose 22 pounds in 6 days. Who's gonna bet on that? Not to mention his trainer got COVID. His trainer wasn't even there.
Jesse Rican went on a binge.
Man.
Jesse Rican went on a binge. He went on a binge one day. He lost 42 pounds in 7 days. So he knows what it's like.
And he also knows what it feels like to fight at that level, to fight a guy like Masvidal who's been training, for 8 weeks.
Jesse Rican lost 22 pounds in 7 days before. He knows what it's like.
I'm sorry, Jesse. Listen, man, I feel bad for you losing $300, man, but Jesus Christ, man, come on!
You can't laugh at a guy losing $300, man. You don't realize.
I'm laughing with him. You know what I'm saying?
This is the COVID, man. This is COVID right now. People are hurting. You can't laugh at people losing money during COVID.
Then he shouldn't have bet on Masvidal, all right?
He had a gut feeling. You can't go against a gut feeling. He had a gut feeling.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Rican. Spit some knowledge here. Let's go.
Nah, I lost $300.
You can't keep laughing at him like that. That's not right.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm not going to.
Now, I hope he doesn't put any money on Lomachenko. I've been trying to walk him off that ledge right now.
I am going to put money on Lomachenko. All right. Let's talk about Lomachenko, right?
Go ahead.
Well, hold on. Let me.
All right, stay focused now.
Loma is a world gold champion from the Olympics, and then almost every time when you go into boxing, it's 4 rounds, 6 rounds, 8 rounds, and 10 rounds, and 12. Loma started off the gate as a world championship
fight. He only goes to Orlando Toledo, and even that's debatable. I never seen a boxer so skilled like Loma. He faced Gary Russell. Gary Russell was 24-0, and he beat him on his third fight. I think Lomachenko is the best boxer of all time. I do.
He's only had 11 fights, dude. I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean, I think the jury may still be out on it. I mean, I'm not saying he's not bad. I mean, he's a bad dude, no question. But what's he have? Beeb, like 14, 15 fights?
What I said, though?
Yeah. 14, 15 fights.
Yeah, something like that.
Did you hear what I said, though?
I did.
You start off on 4-round fights.
Right. No, I mean, we all know his resume. I mean,
fight.
yeah, we get it. We got his resume and everything. But I mean, saying he's the best ever right now, you know.
I'm trying to tell Rican that Lomachenko fought in the World Series of Boxing. Those were like 10-round fights without headgear on, or 8-round fights and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he fought a lot of good guys in there too. Those were
now?
stacked cards. So,
bro, he beat Rigdale, Gary Russell.
Yeah.
2 great fighters, bro. 2 great fighters.
Yeah. But it doesn't make him the best of all time, though. I mean, he's a good fighter, and is he best pound for pound right now? Maybe.
All right. I'm sorry. I don't mean the best of all time, but the best of our generation right now.
I don't know.
Okay.
The jury's still out.
All right. What's going to happen when Lopez knocks him out, though?
I would love for Lopez to knock him out, bro.
Why would you love for Lopez to knock him out if you're going to bet on Lomachenko?
Why would you bet on Lomachenko?
Why would you love that if you're going to bet on Lomachenko?
I didn't say I'm going to bet on Lomachenko. I got to see what the odds are.
Oh, okay.
I'm
going to have to rewind this. I think I heard you say you want to bet on
him.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to put a bet on Loma. Yeah, I thought you were going to put a bet on Loma.
I think Loma's going to win. But if the odds is 4-1, fuck it, I might put 100 on Lopez.
Yeah. Put some money on Lopez, man. Make up that $300. It's not funny, Eric.
Right, I'm done, man. You guys going to make fun of me. You guys just sit there to make fun of me.
That's not true.
Not
That's
me.
Not true.
Not me.
Funny at all.
I'm defending you with every ounce of fiber of being in my body right now. Every fiber of being in my body right now, I'm defending you.
I'm sorry.
I keep telling the dude to stop laughing, but he can't.
It's okay.
What are you doing?
I love you guys.
We love you too, buddy.
We love you too, Jesse, man. See, this is what I love, man.
I love you back from Jesse. I love you back from Jesse.
Reciprocal love, man. That's what you need, brother. That's reciprocal love. You have reciprocal love in this world. We don't have that much hate. We won't have that much pain. We won't have that much anguish. We can win as one nation.
What do you want, Def Poetry Jam all of a sudden? What is this? He did. He went through. You told him to put money on Masvidal. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I didn't.
He said you told him to put money on him.
No. Never.
Money on Masvidal. The guy, again.
I haven't talked to the kid in 3 weeks until today. He called me. How could I tell him to put money on Masvidal if this is the first day I talked to him?
I don't know, but man, I wouldn't have put money. I mean, listen, man. Last night, I'll tell you what, I was pulling for Masvidal. I really was. I like Masvidal a lot, but there was no way he's going to beat Usman. Not on that short a notice, not losing 22 pounds. He knew he wasn't in camp. He was breathing heavy after the first round.
One thing I was telling Rican about Usman, he don't give a fuck about these fighter bonuses, these knockout. He just wants to win the fight.
Yeah.
He is one of the most disciplined fighters I've ever seen in terms of just fighting to win and not fighting off emotion. He don't care about the trash talk. He don't care about trying to prove anything to anybody. He just wants to win the fights. That's it. He just comes to win, and that's it.
This is funny. So my neighbor apparently was listening to the show, and sent her daughter over here with a sign to ask me if we thought that last caller was baked. Yes, I think he was.
You know what? I tell him all the time. I say, Jesse, read the comments. Read them. Jesse, read.
Can he read?
Jesse Reekin. Come on now. Come on. Jesse Reekin. Jesse Reekin. Whenever I do it, when I used to do videos with him, Jesse Reekin's lit. He's baked.
You think?
Lit.
It's not like we're all sitting around wondering,
And I tell him, I said, dude, when you call in, try to have your bearing about you. Get it together, bro.
Oh my God. Anyway, that UFC card was good last night. They had 3 title fights on there. It was pretty good. Let's go back to the phones here. 773. 773, you're live.
Is that Dale?
Oh man, I was cracking up over there. It was like a Seinfeld skit. Beeb, you're telling them to quit laughing at him, and you're laughing at him. It was like a Seinfeld skit.
I was laughing, but I was crying inside for him.
You were crying inside.
I was laughing on the outside, but I was crying on the inside for him because it was sad listening to that.
He's probably gonna go hang himself now, babe. That's messed up, man.
Eric,
I didn't say nothing, man. I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm just saying. You're supposed to be his boy. I'm just saying.
That's not nice.
You told him bet on Masvidal. I would have hung myself anyway.
Oh man.
To watching that fight.
That was a boring one, but I'm blaming Masvidal for that. I'm blaming Masvidal for not getting his ass off the cage. He just accepted being put against the cage. He really wasn't fighting to get off it. But I did want to talk about boxing. This is a boxing show. I have a question for you guys. Is it like, did all the those Eastern European fighters in Oxnard, did they travel back home? Are they still training out there? California?
I don't know. I would you know what? I would imagine that they still are. Honestly, I would still imagine that they still are, but I don't know that for a fact, no.
Because I'm wondering why we haven't been seeing any of them on these top rank cards. Like,
good question.
That could liven up. I would love to see them at some of these top rank cards because, for the most part, these cards have been garbage, just hot garbage. Bob Arum doesn't even care. It seems like he doesn't care what product he's putting out there. He's probably just trying to fill the quota, however number of cards he's got to fulfill for his contractual agreements. So at least let me see some of these Eastern European savages. Let me see some of them, even some of the Central Asians, the Uzbekistanis, the Kazakhstan. Some of these fighters that go out there, put on a show, always very talented, good prospects. Instead, it's just garbage, man. I've been watching some of these fights, and it's like, I don't know, man. They're just putting out garbage. I feel bad for the boxing hardcores who may not be MMA fans, and they see these UFC events, 3 title fights, cards stacked top and bottom. Even if the main event is a stinker, you got 2 title fights that were highly competitive, very good. Undercard was good. And then you got these bum fights in top ranking. Sucks, but that's Bob Arum. That's what Bob Arum does.
Yeah, it's been terrible. It really has been. I mean, we expected a couple of weeks of this, but the nonsense that he's put on week after week after week. I mean, that Tuesday card. Come on, man. I mean, really? It's awful. Just awful. So yeah, it really needs to pick up soon. Gate or no gate. Gate or no gate. This needs to pick up real soon. So
yeah, some people are saying it's better than nothing. Just be grateful they're even putting on cards.
I'd rather have nothing at this point. Man.
I'd rather
nothing on.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They just don't even put on carbs. I'm trying to tune in. Maybe I expected a good quality, some good quality fights. That's what I expect on ESPN top ranked shows. I expect them to put out some good quality content, and they just completely let me down every time. So I'm just saying, don't even put the damn fights on. But I did want to get you guys' thoughts on this before I go. That Max Holloway versus Volkanovski fight, people are screaming robbery, and I went back and watched that fight, and I had it the first 2 rounds, Max Holloway. People are saying, how did he dropped him twice? How did he not win the fight? Well, yeah, he dropped him in each of the first 2 rounds, so that's why he won those first 2 rounds. In the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, I gave to Volkanovski. 4th and 5th round, clearly Volkanovski. And that 3rd round was a coin flip. So, man, the casuals came out of the woodworks for this card regarding Masvidal, regarding Holloway. They were bashing Usman for his performance, this and that, but Usman did what he had to do.
That's how he fights. It's not like he's a knockout. That's how he fights.
He just comes to win. He ain't looking for these bonuses. He's not trying to impress the boss. He just wants to win.
That's how he fights, man. He's a strong guy. He's a wrestler. That's what he's gonna do.
Got all these bonuses. Oh, you got a knockout bonus. All this fight of the night bonus, whatever. He just wants to win.
And the Holloway fight was close. There was no robbery there. It was close. Close fight.
Very close fight, yep. So, as far as that, I just thought it was a close fight. I thought the Peter Yan, that dude, he's a star in the making. Masvidal, he disappointed me with he really wasn't able to get off the cage. He kind of just accepted that position. He got an underhook. He was just willing to take some body shots, get beat up. And I think it's because of his gas tank. He really was never known to have a good gas tank. He likes to explode, and he's really explosive, quick, fast starter, but tends to fade later in the fight, slow down. Yeah. And he was accepting that position. And as far as the weight cut goes, 20 pounds weight cut, that's really not unheard of. A lot of these guys cut a lot of weight. I'm sure Usman cut just as much weight. That dude's like
not in
210 pounds cutting down to 170.
Not in 6 days, man.
No, but...
And not to mention, Usman's been in camp all this time.
Masvidal's been in the gym, though.
He wasn't in the gym because he wasn't in shape.
Masvidal was in the gym. Dustin Poirier said that. He was trying to help him get ready for his fight.
But he's not in fight shape, though. Difference between being in gym and being in fight shape. I mean, he's not. I mean, he may have been helping somebody get ready, but it doesn't mean that he was in fight shape.
I see people in the gym all the time. They're not in shape, though. Some of these dudes I saw today, man.
Yeah.
They're not in shape,
Beeb,
bro.
fat shaming people. What's the matter with you?
They're not in shape, bro.
Oh, that's cold-blooded, Beeb. Trying to help themselves.
It's cold. It ain't right.
It ain't right. It ain't right.
No, I know what you mean. He wasn't fully prepared, but I just don't see that fight going any different. I see that
20 pounds.
Masvidal was never known for a big gas tank and his cardio. I just think we'll never know because I knew that was going to be the case. I knew this is going to be it. Oh, he's only in 6 days. Oh, he didn't have a good training camp. I knew that was going to be the narrative after the fight if he lost. So that's why Masvidal took it. That's why he took it, and he had the chance to prepare for a long camp. He could have took that fight 2 months ago, but fully prepared, took a full camp. Instead, he turned it down, and then instead he took a last minute, just so he would have the excuse. Oh, it was a short camp, and now I want to have a. Then what did he say after the fight in the press conference? Oh, I want to have a full camp to prepare, and I think I can come back and beat this guy. No, man, you had your chance and you lost.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's a fair assessment that if you had a full camp, you'd do better. But Masvidal, or
Usman's a better
fighter, man.
Usman's a clearly better fighter.
Yeah, just better all around.
And that's no disrespect to Masvidal. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, no disrespect to Masvidal. I respect him for taking this fight on 6 days, but he lost. I mean, that's the risk. That's the risk reward. High risk, high reward. So now I want to see that Gilbert Burns step up.
I'd like to see the Gilbert Burns fight too.
He was supposed to be in line.
They're talking about him having to fight like an eliminator now. So hopefully Burns should get his next shot. I mean, that's just what I think. Burns should get that next shot. They're both teammates. They both know each other. I think it's a good fight. Leon Edwards is good too. I don't know. I'd like to see Burns though. I really would get that next shot.
Yeah, but I think Burns matches up well just with his grappling background. He's not going to get stuck against the cage and he's got big, heavy hands, knockout power. So I think he matches up better with him.
Yeah.
But you saw Kobe Covington. He made it a fight. He didn't accept being pushed up against the cage and rolled out, wore down, taken down multiple times. He stood in the middle, kept it, and made it a slugfest. So it's possible. Usman is beatable.
Yeah, well, Covington is just as good a wrestler as Usman is, too. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right, man. We're going to get moving here. We appreciate your call, man. Thank you so much.
Real quick.
Yes.
Usman's got a freaking blockhead on him, though, huh? This dude's got a noggin on him.
Look at you down in Usman. How dare you? How dare you? All right, man.
Hey, that's why he's able to take a shot. Take it easy,
why
guys.
you can take a shot.
Big head, big brain, baby.
That's what I say. That's what I got a big head, so that's what I say
I
too.
got a big head too, man. I got like a lunchbox size head.
All right, Beeb. Live from Rikers Island.
Oh,
coming to us live from Rikers Island here.
Oh no.
Georgie, you're live.
Hey, yo! What's happening, people? So with that low energy.
What up, Georgie? How you doing? How many Red Bulls?
Yo.
He doesn't have Red Bulls in the clink.
Listen, can be documented forever, brother. Now you picking Teal. All of a sudden you picking Teal.
I had Loma. I think you have it turned around here. I always had Loma. Beeb always had Teal.
I like.
Harry, you gotta sit down because you be dodging me since fucking 2018, dog.
Who,
I
me?
don't even know why you open your mouth. You gotta be dodging me for a minute.
Son,
I won my title
beat
shot. You guys
more
can never
times than
be
I
shit
can
to me.
count.
George,
It's
you
not
have,
even fun beating you
I
anymore.
won the motherfucking
I beat you like a rented mule on a
Georgie,
daily basis, son.
you're on like a 7-fight losing streak, and you think you're just gonna, you think you're just gonna come in and get a title shot. When was the last time you
Now, what you guys don't tell the people the games you play. I always got to pick up the shitty shit of this fucking state.
It's the sanctioning bodies. It has nothing to do with that.
I got Teal.
It has nothing to do with us. It's a sanctioning body.
Every
not us.
single time
We
I
don't
got
have
to
any
pick up
control
the
over that.
fucking worst shit.
Call up Mauricio. He's the boss.
Right. See the belt? Mauricio gave us that belt.
Listen, we're
That's
gonna
right.
have to figure.
Right.
We're gonna have to figure this shit out another day. Let's move on to the important shit. The important shit.
Okay, George, you hit us with the facts.
Listen, who's the historian here?
Huh?
Who's the historian of the show? Because
You.
I'm just a boxing fan.
You're the historian.
No.
Robert? Me?
Well, let me take the baton, nigga. Silence, everybody in class. Everybody knows that boxing is divided on the Muhammad Ali era, down and up. There was nobody touching no him. This man's personality, while he did inside and outside the ring, contribute to this man breaking the barrier of the millions of dollars. There was no millions of dollars before Muhammad Ali. And that brought the shackles, baby. You chained up. That fucked you up right there and there. This man's glory got translated into money, and now we got to pay these millions of dollars to see shitty fights that they will never happen. You got fucking out the motherfucking Raymond making you believe for 7 years that he got 4 of the best welterweights in the planet. You got fucking Bob Aaron making you believe that he got 2 of the biggest pound for pound that ever touched fucking the glove. That he got Crawford and he got Lomachenko. The so-called 2 more. How the fuck you gonna know? Every time they put these people to test, he's with less opposition. Shitty ass opposition. When fucking Crawford, if he ever fight fucking out, Porter, fucking Sean, Danny. He ever fight any of them? What time? What age these people gonna fight? When they gonna fight? After 33?
I don't know.
If you are a
We've been asking
heavyweight,
that
you're
same
your
question.
parents.
We've been asking that same question. We don't know when they're going to fight.
So what is the problem? What is the problem? It's greed. It's money. Nah, greed is not good.
I like money.
It's never been good.
I don't mind money. I like
Little kids get fucking murdered because of greed. People get blown the fuck up because of greed. Greed is not good, baby. No matter how the fuck you look at it.
Michael Douglas said greed was good.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he said it right in Wall Street. I was
Watch that
riding
movie-
with him. I was
Watch that
believing
movie,
it.
Wall Street. Greed is good.
Right. You saw that, right, Beeb?
100%. I saw that.
I was thinking it was good.
I live by that credo.
So does this mean we're bad?
I never killed anybody.
baby, you guys gotta start with humanity. I'm not gonna last you forever, baby. I cannot come here every fucking week the same bullshit. You guys, this mafia writing the same bullshit as history. Same garbage. Chef fire top of chef fire. UFC showing you how these people, you don't overpay them. They don't have no fucking time to sit around in 2 or 3 fucking millions of dollars until something else fucking pops.
I'm not in the mafia.
It's right there on your face. The model's right there on your face, and you guys want to fight it. And now you guys going to tell me these people are overpaid? Tell me again that they're not overpaid.
No such thing.
No such thing. You think I'm going to do an allocution?
No. Listen. Until you don't bitch among these people on church and tune. Look how they took fucking Marisa to fucking said that Demon White gonna get a title shot.
Oh.
He takes the whole boxing world. To go up on a rage. He takes every fucking body to scream out of the fucking kid. They will never give it to you. Never. As long money is there, they will never gonna give it to you. You're gonna have to fight every single fucking inch. And here you guys are like, yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, how could somebody be able to say, yeah, motherfucker, it's a bunch of motherfuckers overpaid out there.
Is he making fun of us, Beeb?
Big time overpaid.
Taking a shit on us right now. I don't like
Greedy ass bastards, bro. Milking this fucking fight. Listen, I don't respect none of these cats coming out.
It's capitalism.
The only motherfucker who's given a chance, bro, listen. The only motherfucker who's going to get a little respect will be Teal. And that's when I see the Lomachenko fight. That's the only motherfucker coming up. I don't want to be heard shit about no Tank. I don't want to hear about no Haney. I don't want to hear about none of these cocksuckers, bro.
Oh.
None of these people have fucking fun, not even one fight to be where they are. None of them. And all these fucking hype, bro. When thanks for fucking the Cuban dude, that nigga was too old already. Gamboa, Trey, Metal. They say, yo, that's what the fucking crop for Gamboa. It's still Metal. The people who fought with Gamboa are retired already. They gone. And you say, oh, yeah, he got his name on the book. Now they got chef fight, on top of chef fight. Bro, everybody there support the channel, and I'm out.
All right, Georgie from Rikers.
Can't blame PBC for this. These are top rank cards.
I think what Georgie's trying to say in his own mangled way was he's disappointed in the fights as well. So there you go. Well, you're in good company, Georgie, because we're also disappointed in the fights. All right, let's speaking of the fights, Beeb, what do we got coming up here next? Let's see. I think we got on Tuesday coming up. Who do we got? We got what's his face? Jamel Herring and he's fighting the 6-loss Frezakendo, or not Frezakendo, but Jonathan Okendo, which should be a complete walkover fight. But at least we get a name here. So let's see here. July 14th, that's Tuesday. Jamel Herring versus Jonathan Okendo, 12 rounds for Herring's WBO junior lightweight title. Michaela Mayer, she's been calling you lately, Beeb.
Coming back.
Yeah, versus Helen Joseph, 10 rounds, female junior lightweights. She had COVID, didn't she?
She did.
She did? You didn't get COVID?
I didn't get it.
That's odd. That's odd. Don't you find that a little odd?
Tiger's blood, I told you.
You have Adonis DNA, my man. Clay Collard versus LT Nelson, 6 rounds middleweights. Clay Collard is the one who's upsetting everybody. So there you go. July 16th, which is Thursday on ESPN, Miguel Mariaga versus Mark John Yap, 10 rounds featherweights.
Didn't Lomachenko beat that guy?
I think a lot of people beat that guy, yes. Yeah. Felix Verdejo versus Will Madera, 10 rounds lightweights. So a little better on Tuesday than it was on, or Thursday than it is on, I don't know. Listen, they all suck. All right? Hopefully these will be good fights. But let me tell you what, which fight, let me ask you this, which fight are you looking forward to?
Clay Collard.
Wow.
Because he's the upset machine.
I know. I'm kind of looking forward to that too. I think that Tuesday fight, I'm looking forward to Jamel Herring and Jonathan Okendo. And I'll tell you why. Because I think Jamel Herring kind of fights to the level of his opposition. And I think that he's lax in some areas. And I think he's a guy who can be beat. I think he's a champ who can be beat. And I think he makes for exciting fights because of his shortcomings.
Well, any of these guys could be off their game because of the COVID, because of not.
Yeah.
Because,
he's just coming back from it, no?
Yeah. So the training camp's been disrupted. And,
right.
Not being able to train the same way you trained normally. So anyone could be off their game, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, so that is what kind of makes it exciting a little bit. I mean, when you got a big fighter in there, you got a title match here. It's yeah.
There's only one guy that's been consistent throughout this whole ordeal. That's Clay Collard. That's Clay
Collard. Clay Collard, absolutely. Yeah, he's the upset machine, man. What are you going to do?
He's like the mailman. He can perform under any circumstances, rain, sleet, or slow.
Slow? Rain, sleet, or slow?
Rain, sleet, or slow, or snow.
Easy for you to say. Easy for you to say. Sneet, slow.
Rain, sleet, or slow, or snow. Right at Publix.
Right at Publix. That's right. Right at Publix. All right. So our news and rumors this week, man. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are not going to fight yet, but they are appearing in the next UFC 4 Fight Night game for PS5 and Xbox One. The game comes out August 14th. They were all over this last night on the pay-per-view. They had, they kept announcing Anthony Joshua. They're going to be special playable characters if you order it at a certain time or you pre-order it or something like that. But yeah, it's kind of cool that they've made it into the game. They didn't take Deontay Wilder, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya at it again this week. Beeb, what is going on with Ryan Garcia here? And everybody that I talk to says that he is a giant baby. He's a diva. So speaking about Golden Boy this week, Garcia had this to say to The Athletic. Quote, if they don't think I'm the next world champ, if they don't think I'm the next big fighter in the world, prove it, let me go. Said, don't hold back, release me if you don't think I'm the real deal, because you're insinuating that I'm not really the real deal and I'm not on that level yet. Release me and I'll prove it to you. Golden Boy has said that they had offered Ryan Garcia Mercito Gesta or Hector Tanajara for July 24th, which, is in a couple weeks. But he said no to both opponents, and he said, quote, knock out Mercito Gesta, knock out Hector Tanajara in 1 or 2 rounds. He said, what is that going to do? Nobody cares. I'm looking out for myself. At the end of the day, boxing is a one-man sport. Listen, he was offered Luke Campbell. I don't know if that fight's going to happen.
It's a good fight.
That's a real good fight. But
Really
why not fight? Listen, he's got 20 fights. It's not like another fight's going to hurt him, you know? And I know he wants big fights, but this is how you get to the big fights.
I don't know.
You're a Ryan Garcia fan?
It's hard to it's hard to be a fan of his right now because he's just.
It's kind of being a baby, and I hate De La Hoya, but he's kind of being a baby, no?
I just don't like the oversensitive attitude this guy has. I mean, just go out there and fight the fights. I mean,
that's it. That's all you got to do.
What do you like? What are the expectations? Like,
well, you know, and Mercedes Gesta and Tanajara, they're not like. I mean, they don't, and he's right. They don't pose a crazy opposition to him, but they're stay busy fights. They're keep sharp fights. Those are the fights you need. They're going to give you a different look. You're going to get hit. You're going to, you know what I mean?
I just don't understand why he has to go to the media all the time to complain about his current situation.
Yeah, well, that's another one. When you complain out in public like that, that's not good either.
Why can't you just work this out within? Why do you have to air out your dirty laundry? Why do you why? What is the benefit of acting the way he's acting?
You know, Smitty in the chat said he's got to earn the money he wants. He hasn't accomplished much yet, and he's right. He hasn't. The thing about Garcia though is, I'll tell you what he is. He's a good boxer. He's got some power. He's very fast. He's got some power, but he brings an audience. He puts people in the stands.
Well,
you know,
he's got a good social media following.
Yeah.
But does he sell out arenas? I don't know.
Yeah, Dale from Chi-Town said just go out and fight Ryan, and he's right. That's the thing. He's right. You know, Floyd Mayweather, the one thing people forget is when Floyd Mayweather fought Oscar De La Hoya, wasn't that like an 80-20 split? Something like that. It was a ridiculous split.
Oh, yeah.
And Oscar got 80% and Floyd Mayweather got 20%. I mean, it was like an 80-20 split. I mean, it was ridiculously bad.
Oscar got like $50 million for that fight. Floyd got like 25.
I don't even know that. Yeah, I mean, whatever it was awful. Yeah. It was an awful split. It was nowhere near equitable, anything like that. But he took the fight, and he won, and he gambled on himself, and he won because he knew he could beat De La Hoya. He knew once he did, he became the new guy. And what happened? He became the new guy. That's what you have to do. It's what you got to do. So what are you going to do? Let's see here. Katie Taylor, your girl, Beeb, is set to fight Delphine Pearsoon in a rematch expected to take place on August 22nd. Pearsoon was chosen after Amanda Serrano fell through. I still am perplexed on why the Amanda Serrano fight fell through.
She's going to be kicking herself if Pearsoon beats Katie Taylor, because I thought Pearsoon won the first fight.
And Pearsoon may just have her number. It may just be one of those things where that style just gives her problems.
Who did you think won the first fight?
I thought Pearsoon won the first fight.
I thought Pearsoon won too.
Yeah, I thought it was close, but I thought she won.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know, Amanda Serrano, who wants to get paid, wants to, be a star, have these big fights, and she's not fighting the big fights.
Yeah, so I don't know the whole behind the scenes thing with the contract or whatever. I'm hearing Eddie's side of the story. I'm hearing her side of the story.
Listen, I don't care what the contract is. It is what it is. Katie Taylor is a bigger star. Like it or not, she's a bigger star than you. I don't care how many belts you got. The bottom line is she draws the money.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Amanda Serrano is very accomplished, though.
She is, but nobody knows her name.
No, you're right.
Nobody knows who she is.
Katie Taylor's really carving out a niche for herself right now.
Who was the one cupcake we had on talking about the one who fought Clarissa Shields? What was her name? The girl you asked out?
Christina Hammer. Yeah.
All right. Again, Clarissa Shields was the name. She was the draw in that fight. Like it or not, she was the bigger name.
But they had a pretty. I think they had like an even split for that fight, though.
They fought.
Yeah.
That's the point. They fought. You know. Jeff Horn is set to take on Tim Tszyu on August 26th. Check this out, man. This is a good fight, and I'm actually looking forward to it, man. It'll take place in Australia, and it's expected to have a crowd of 16,000, Beeb. 16,000.
Wow.
Now, there may have more if restrictions are lifted, but they're talking about putting 16,000 people. Australia's pretty much done with this, right?
From what I hear, they don't have too many cases.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I mean, 16,000 people. I mean, this is where I'm thinking like fights are going to happen places in the world, just like Abu Dhabi last night. And, they're going to have different places. So, yeah, man. And Floyd Mayweather has teased a comeback again, so rather than promote his own fighters like Tank Davis and everything like that, he chooses to, promote Devin Haney, who's not really his fighter. So he chooses to focus on himself because he's good at that, On social media, Floyd had said this: soon I'm going to hop on a jet to Tokyo for a meeting with my partners in Ryzen for something this year, 2020. Stay tuned. Ryzen is going to announce they have announced like a big thing. Floyd hasn't been a part of that. But Beeb, what are your thoughts on this? This is constant Floyd nonsense.
Just attention seeking. That's all it is. I don't put much stock into it.
I don't either. But if he fought like another guy like Tension, would you watch it?
I'm a loser.
I am too. I would totally lie. I stayed up all night, literally all night that one night, waiting for him to fight.
Do you see how I say yes with no hesitation?
I'm such a groupie.
That's a sickness.
Sickness runs deep, man.
That's a legitimate sickness.
It really is.
That I would watch that.
I was setting my alarm because I was so tired. I was falling asleep at 3:00 in the morning. I mean, he put that whole card on ice. That was a live card. That card was like 3 or 4 hours late. There was nothing going on. People were still there waiting for that fight to happen. It was insane. I'll never forget that, man. And then when we did the show like 7:00 in the morning.
That was hilarious. I
stayed up all night for a 30-second fight. You could have made a commercial out of it.
Everybody was talking so much shit about that fight, but when we did that show, that was like one of our highest rated shows.
Highest rated show, yep. One of them.
Yeah. Everyone was watching it.
Yeah, we weren't the only ones.
And then we kept saying it was fixed. And then you had, it's not, all these goofballs coming. No, it's not fixed. It's not fixed. Floyd's the greatest. He knocked him out with one. He knocked him out with one punch.
Floyd, he's so good.
Yeah, he knocked him out with one punch.
Tank could knock him out too. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. They suck. What are you going to do? All right, guys, that is the news. And that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at jhabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. I'm at Ringside73 on Twitter, and we will see you next week.